You're tuned in to the Keetria Show and listening to SOB, Style of Business, the podcast with your host, Keetria. We aim to highlight the ongoing trek of entrepreneurs and business owners from around the globe, featuring stories that recount their struggles, experiences, and inevitable road to success and self-fulfillment. Welcome to SOB.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in for another wonderful episode of SOB Style of Business. This is your host, Keetria, and I am joined today by the fantastic Emilie Jerard, who is a cryptocurrency advocate and the host of her own wonderful podcast called CryptoTalk. So she's going to be talking to us today about her start in finance, her background. She's also a fashion designer, so she had a pretty good career in fashion. She's also involved in medicine. She's had a career in medicine, rather. So without further ado, let's go ahead and give her a moment to give us her background and introduction, and we will continue to steamroll straight forward. Emilie, how are you doing today? How's it going?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast, Keetria. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. We are happy to have you on and definitely excited about some of the information you're going to be sharing with us today in regards to your multiple careers. We know you've been successful in various areas. So go ahead and give us a brief background, and let's go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll keep rolling down to the completion of this great interview.
All right. Sounds great. So I started in medicine, and my background is in biochemistry and molecular biology. And when I was younger, I wanted to go in be a fashion designer. That's where my love and my passion was. But my family, being very orthodox, strict, conservative, was like, oh, you should do something in medicine. My mother was a nurse. So what I did was, I was a very obedient child. I was a very good child, a studious child. So what I did is I went in. I love the sciences. I went into that. I went further into a career doing research. And then I went into medicine doing anatomic pathology. So what I do is I work in the medicine aspect that deals with all of the body parts. So I went back to school, and I went and I got a degree in order to do like autopsies and breaking down the body, the organs to a slide for pathologists to make a diagnosis.
Oh, wow.
And yes, and I've been doing this for about 15, 16 years now, and I really enjoy it. And one of the things I also do is I advocate careers for our Black folks, brothers and sisters in laboratory sciences. So doing what I do, which I'm a certified histotechnologist. There's also people who read pap smears, that's cytotechnologists, people who are med techs who do the blood work in the CDCs in the hospitals and in the labs. There's a big shortage of people, so there's not enough people going into those careers. So one of my advocacy is I help people who want to go into those careers, what they need, the schooling that they need, all the different types of prerequisites. So that's one of the pillars of my education besides cryptocurrency, is I also advocate for that in helping people try to get into those careers, because it's unknown. A lot of people don't know about it, and it's a very lucrative career, and it's very, I could work in the daytime. I used to travel to different hospitals in different states working for different areas. I got to travel, so it opened a lot of doors for me. So I also want to tell people about it to open doors for other people.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. Yeah, because I had no idea that existed. So that is definitely news to me as well. And I know we primarily have you here for cryptocurrency and finance, but I don't know, maybe we can weave some of that medical stuff in there as well to get the information out. So we appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. One of the things that I did when I got older, and because I wanted to go into the fashion, what I told myself as a kid, anything I wanted to do that I felt my family didn't want me to do, or I got a kickback from society, I said when I got older and I had the wherewithal to do it, I would do it. So that's what I did. Was I got to a certain part in my life where financially I was stable, I had the money, and I started my own fashion line. And I started from the ground up, meaning I learned how to make patterns, I learned how to sew, I learned how to, what they call grading, change patterns. So I learned everything about the fashion industry, making it and doing it from the bottom up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get into the fashion stuff here in a few, and I'm grinning ear to ear. So I'm excited about that part. But let's start with the finance. Okay, so we know, I know that one of the focus areas of your show, obviously, is to teach people about cryptocurrency, but how, like, finance, and why is that an important mission for you, basically, is what I'm trying to ask, like, when you got into that.
Sure. The important mission is because there is a big issue with society and with us in general in the United States. We're not saving enough for retirement. And what happened was, as I was, I had my job, had my money. I got myself a financial advisor when I was maybe 28, when I was very young. And one of the important things that helped me do was that helped me figure out what I was doing with my money, how much money I needed to retire, when I wanted to retire. And it just brought a lot of stuff into perspective in knowing my quote-unquote numbers. So that's one of the things I talk about. You have to know your numbers and where you are financially. And cryptocurrency was another aspect of something that I could make. I have a portfolio of assets. So it's something else that I could add to my portfolio of assets. And I learned everything about cryptocurrency the same way I learned everything about fashion. And I realized that there was a disconnect with the people I was talking to about it. They didn't know what it was. They weren't comfortable with it. They were intimidated by it. And this was from all the way from physicians that I worked with all the way to whoever, people in security. Yeah. They wanted to know more about it. They wanted to learn more about it. And because I knew how it worked and I had some background in teaching, that's how I ended up being an advocate and teaching people how it works so they won't be scammed and taken advantage of.
Yeah, that's absolutely excellent. Did you ever foresee that you would kind of fall into a career or some sort of interest in finance or money management?
I did, but one of the things that was hard for me was because I didn't have like a role model or someone to look up to, like another Black female. I felt, well, maybe I couldn't do it, or maybe this is not something that I should do, or why should anybody listen to me? So it took me some time to get over that hump, and I had to feel that I have something to provide and it's of value, so I had to make my voice heard, and that's why I'm coming out the way I'm coming out on the platforms I'm coming out, to make my voice be heard on what I'm doing with finance and money, and to show that it's important that people could see that. And I want to be role model for another, somebody else coming up after me that's like, yeah, I want to go to finance. I want to go and run a mutual fund or a hedge fund and say, oh, well, Emily's doing it. She knows what she's doing. She did the work behind it. I can do it also.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that your audience appreciates the information that you're sharing, because like you said, it definitely is hard to find, and just to be able to understand what cryptocurrency is and just financial well-being, it's always good to kind of have somebody that is advocating and can give you the information, especially during this time. So you're right about that. But tell us, how did so you got careers in fashion, you have your own line, your own thing that you're doing with your fashion, and then you also have your career in medicine and healthcare and things like that. How did that actually influence your interest in finance, if at all, if it did?
It did influence finance, because if I'm working and making money, the money I'm making is good. But what happens, a lot of people who make money and they have a good income, but they don't keep the income. The income is being spent on stuff, right? So it was very important that now that I'm working and I am making these funds, to put that money towards really retirement, and I'm not seeing assets in my net worth. So then I can later on retire and not have to go back to work. There's a lot of people, that's what happens. They have to go back to work. There's a lot of physicians and people I work with that have a lot of debt from medical school, and people don't talk about that. They're like, oh, but this doctor, yeah, he's making great money, but can he keep his money?
Right.
Can he keep that work that he has and keep it, make it do things that then makes my money work for me, so then later on I can taper off and relax on working and pull the money from my assets to live on. So that helps a lot, because I talk to people about money a lot at work, and I'm very transparent. So I hear what people say, what people's worries are, and I realize that there's a lacking somewhere. And that's why I come in, and people are like, Emily, you're really good with money. I got a lot of that. Wow, you're very disciplined. You're very, I would save for a year for a vacation, a little bit at a time. Yeah. So then as I started talking with people and being transparent and being like, listen, I have to not go to dinner. I have to go do this or go to this to save money. And that's what the truth is. And that money I'm putting in my investments. I'm using it to buy crypto. I'm using it to do these different things. So it's that kind of opened my eyes. A lot of people living paycheck to paycheck, both in medicine and in the fashion fashion world. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that I've met, celebrities, people behind the scenes, and it's rough for them too because money is coming in, but there's a lot of money that's going out too.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally understand and agree with that. Let's talk about your podcast. We have CryptoTalk, and I definitely checked out a couple of the episodes over the weekend, and it is extremely informative. And I know you're just getting started with your first season, but tell us a little bit about the content and your primary goal of the show.
The content is me breaking down cryptocurrency to what it is, the different types of cryptocurrencies in a kind of conversational way so it's not so intimidating. People talk about crypto and they use these words.
Yeah.
And it's great, but it's like, for me, it's not necessary. It's just showing how smart you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's not really getting the knowledge across. So I talk about cryptocurrency in a way that people can understand, like how blockchain works, Bitcoin, how Bitcoin works, how people can avoid scams. Everything I talk about, I research it to make sure that it's founded on solid evidence and it's not just hype or what people are saying, fake news. So I'm doing the work and the research behind it. So when I come to my audience, I'm like, okay, listen, this is what it is. This is, if you want to do it, this is the best way to do it. This is how to protect yourself. This is what you need to know. So it's really about giving people knowledge. And also, I have interaction with my audience. So if they have questions, something they want to know, something they want to research, I have ways for them to get in touch with me, for me to look into stuff for them to see if it's really true or if it's not, if it's something that's trying to, take advantage of them. And also talk about how me as a Black female dealing with finance and medicine in the fashion industry. And I have some people that in my life that I have come on and we talk about, different things and how they feel about crypto. So it's like for me, it's like a road. So it's like a journey of, because there's a lot of people, I'm the first person who introduced it to them.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and it's definitely informative. And I felt like it was a good place to get the information because I'm one of those people when it comes to Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchain, all three of those terms have a big question mark. Like they're all one thing to me. And there's a big question mark because I really don't understand exactly how it works or what it is. But for people like myself that are not familiar with it or how it works, like what would be a good place to start to be able to learn about cryptocurrency, how it works, how to use it, and just to get some additional information on it?
Okay. So what I have a tutorial. It's called my Bitcoin and cryptocurrency tutorial. And what it is, I came up with a manual that I broke down Bitcoin and I kind of explained it, like how it works, how the science works, to how you have like a checking account. Yeah. And what I said to everybody is that I have a Patreon. My Patreon is Emilie Jerard. And for $1 donation, I'll give that manual to whoever wants it. And that's just to help support, what I'm doing. Yeah. And that manual has like a total breakdown of crypto and how it works and how addresses work and how blockchain works. I also have a website, EmilieJerard.com. And that website, I have different breakdowns, finance, cryptocurrency, education. So I have articles on Bitcoin. I have articles on Ethereum. I have articles on blockchain. I have different articles like why the price of Bitcoin went down and starting last November. So I talk about things like that. And also my podcast, I have different breakdowns of, I talked about Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm going to talk about Litecoin. I'm going to talk about, and also I have a 3-hour tutorial. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have a 3-hour tutorial, which I gave at a church last year in May, where I talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and exchanges. So all of that is actually available on my YouTube website. If you look, I have all of it, like I'm in front of a chalkboard and I'm talking about how it works. And I think it's important that I put the knowledge out there, and I want to say thank you so much for giving me this platform. So I want people to take advantage, because I don't think people are taking advantage of this. Like I had like 12 people or 15 people view my, and there's people that I know for me, they're charging $3,000 to teach people about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
They're charging, because I get the emails, and I'm giving it for free. So I just want people to know, take advantage of my YouTube channel. It's there. You have to watch it when you're home or when you're driving or someplace, and there's a comment section. Everybody that leaves a comment, I will respond and let you know, like, if I want some more information. you just want the tutorial, send me an email. I will send it to you. And one of the things is people want, oh, here's a crypto, buy it at this price. But I don't want to do that. There's a lot of people who do that. They just spit out numbers and tell you to get into it at this price and this price. I want you to know what you're buying, why you're buying it. It's important because in the future, as we move on with crypto and Bitcoin, the people who know it and know how to use it now, it's going to help you and be a benefit to you later on. So that's why I teach people what it's about and how it works instead of just telling people, buy it at this price and buying it at that price. Because to me, that's great, but it doesn't help you in the long run.
Yeah, and speaking of which, you just mentioned that this information that you're providing for free is actually something that we should take advantage of because of the future. And the fact that some people are selling the information, starting at $3,000, just it feels like it's something that is probably going to be long-standing. But as far as crypto being a trend, like what's the future of crypto in the future?
The way I see it is this. I tell people, because a lot of people, it's hard to remember back in the day, we used cash for everything. And somebody's like, oh, here's a credit card. We're going to use this to make transactions. You would have been like, oh, please. And nowadays, like the kids coming up, they don't have cards. They don't have cash. A lot of people have their cards, and everything is done through, right? Everything is done through virtual, and you could use your phone to pay for stuff. So that's why I say crypto is. Crypto is going to be a parallel system, like the stock market, alongside our own traditional stock market. So I call it two roads. You're going to have your traditional stock market road, and you're going to have your digital currency road.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to exist at the same time. They're the same people. They're going to be people in the future. They're going to be licensed to sell cryptocurrency. But what happens is because now it's new, we don't have that yet. But that's going to be 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road.
Exactly. Okay, so now the light bulb is going off. I'm seeing the importance of checking out your YouTube videos. So that definitely makes sense. All right. So anybody that's listening, you can get the information. Go to EmilieJerard.com. Emilie will let you drop all your contact information and your YouTube channel at the end of the show. But before we even get down to wrapping it up, okay, so this is something that I mentioned to you before we even start recording the interview, is the fact that I really enjoyed reading about your background and the fact that you've been successful. So you have pursued many goals, and you have been able to, establish a place for yourself within the fashion industry. You have a successful career in medicine and science. All of that is extremely encouraging. But it sounds like you probably had to overcome a lot of obstacles to be able to do some of the things that you wanted to do. And my question to you is, like, how difficult or how easy was it for you to kind of move across those various industries, and able to be a success?
Medicine was easy because you have a piece of paper, and what I did was I tried to get as much experience as I can.
Right. Okay.
So my whole thing, about resume writing, I tried to work in many different large hospitals, small hospitals. I used to travel. So I took a lot of risks in my career, and it paid off, meaning that I know some people, they stayed in the same job for 50 years. I didn't do that. I went to different places to learn different things and get knowledge. So that helped me. So then when I went on to work in whatever, when I went to go work in different places in medicine, when they looked at my resume, they said, Emilie, you're very experienced. You worked at a lot of different places. You know how to use a lot of different machines. You know how to work in different types of environments. You work with a lot of different types of people. We're impressed by you. So I think in medicine and science, what I try to do is I try to meet people's expectations, and I try to be as impressive as possible. When I went into fashion, what made me differentiate myself is I made sure that when I created something, it was quality. It was good. It looked good. It was good fabric. I took really good photographs. I invested the money and the passion to show people, oh, this is something that you're serious about. And it was difficult just because I was new. I was Black. What do you know? Who are you? You didn't go to Parsons. You didn't go to these fashion schools. But when they looked at my product, it was quality and it was good. And that's how I lead my life, with that being forward. If I'm doing anything, I'm going to put 120% of it in there.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Share with us 2 to 3 tips. How did you stay focused to be able to accomplish your goals?
I always made sure that I had a goal and I wrote it down, and I worked one goal at a time. So what I did was, okay, I want to do my first line. That was one goal. I want to have my first fashion show. Boom. I want to get my first job at this hospital making this amount of money. Boom. So that's how I worked on everything. The same thing, example with this. I had a goal. I wanted 5,000 followers on IG. So I took my time. I put my work in. I made sure I had content. So I had these goals, but I had to back it up by stuff that I was doing to make that goal.
Exactly. So that basically the action had to be in line with. Okay, got it. Perfect. Yeah. What do you enjoy most though about working to help others to achieve financial goals or just any goal? Like you've been pretty encouraging on your YouTube channel and even the good stuff that I've heard and read. What do you enjoy most about helping people?
I feel that's what I'm here for. That's what gives me the most satisfaction, and that's what my calling is. To take my life experiences and to help and educate and lift up, especially with the society that we're living in now. Now I'm seeing certain things that I didn't see when I was growing up as a child, and I feel I have to combat that. And a lot of people are like, oh, but I feel when there's all that negativity and that push down and you can't do it or you're this and you're that, you got to have more people rising up to give people hope. Yeah. You know, like that whole hope and give people encouragement, and you can do it. And sometimes the knowledge, I don't know what to do. Okay, this is the knowledge you need. Now, here's the encouragement. You can do it. Sometimes you need somebody to listen, somebody to be like, you can do it. If I can do it, then I'm just a working girl like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I just had certain things aligned, and I went for it, and I put in that, like Rihanna said, that work.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. Love it. Okay, so before we wrap up, Miss Emilie, please leave us with some words of encouragement, specifically for, I guess, any of the audience members or anybody who's listening that have some ideas or goals that they have yet to pursue.
I think you have to be ready to do certain things, and I think that's important for me, where sometimes I want to do something, but I'm not ready. There's a point where I know where I'm ready, maybe emotionally, financially. So always do stuff when you're ready to do it. And also, life is a journey. And I think I made time my friend instead of my enemy.
Yeah.
So it made things easier for me. I'm not on anybody's timeline. I'm not on anybody's clock. I'm on my clock. And I think sometimes people are rushing. I have to get this by this age. I have to be this age. I have to be a success. I have to be a millionaire. Make time your friend. Life's a journey. Enjoy it. Enjoy that journey and enjoy the ride. And I know I am doing it. And I just want to help people get to where they want financially. Doesn't matter how bad you think you are, because I was bad at a certain time too. Everybody is dead, credit cards, all that stuff. And I got myself out of it. So if I could do it, and if you're talking about cryptocurrency and where I'm at now, anybody can do it. You just need that encouragement. And that's what I'm providing to everybody.
Love it. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And before you leave, tell us where we can find out more information on CryptoTalk Podcast, and also you, Emilie Jerard. Leave us your website, social media handles, and any additional information that you would like to share with us.
Okay, so I am Emilie Jerard, all together on everything. So that's YouTube, IG, Facebook, Twitter. So everything is Emilie Jerard. So just Google me, you'll find me. And I have my Crypto Talk is available on Spotify, iTunes, all podcast channels. And also I have it on my website under our videos page. And I have notes too on who's on my show, what I'm talking about, and additional information.
Perfect. Sounds good, Emilie. So you have given us some great information on crypto and finance. Next time we have you on, you're going to be talking to us about the medical and the science and all those wonderful careers and things like that a lot of us don't know about. So we'll save that for part 2, but we definitely appreciate you for taking time to speak with us and wish you the best of luck. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk about my different platforms. I really, really, really appreciate it, Keetria.
You are so welcome. Take care, Emilie.
You too. Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us here on SOB. We hope this episode has been resourceful. If you'd like to check out the latest articles or follow Keetria's website updates, just log on to Keetria.com or follow her on Twitter at KEETRIA.